Gearing up to take us to the Phantom Planet, it is Andy from Black Veil Brides, everybody!
Hello!
So, having to sit on this record for an extra couple of months must be killing you, man.
Yeah, but I mean, quite honestly, it was an opportunity to be able to get all the stuff together that we wanted to, whether it's the comic series or the music videos and everything else. So it's actually worked out for the best, and now it's just a couple weeks away.
That might actually lead into the next question that I was going to ask, which was... There's something about this. I can't quite put my finger on it, but you might be able to for me. There's something about this run-up and this release that feels, I wouldn't go as far as to say like a rebirth for Black Veil Brides, but it feels decidedly different in terms of its presentation and the way that it's arriving than the last couple of records.
Yeah.
Is that something that you feel, or am I putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5?
Well, I mean, the band is significantly happier than we've ever been. You know, we went through a very difficult time, and we were almost... I mean, it's not a secret. We were almost done after the last record. And so prior to the pandemic and prior to all the things that have occurred over the last year, we kind of decided that we weren't going to let it end. And we came back together, and we are in the best place we've ever been in, and working with Eric Ron. And there's just been so many different things that have put it together to where we really enjoy making this stuff together. And we're constantly discussing different elements and putting different things together. So I would certainly say that this is different. But it's also just an opportunity for us to get to do this. I mean, when you're a band that's been around as long as we have, nothing is guaranteed. And to get more opportunities and people that will give you a shot, it's just exciting to be able to do that. And there are plenty of people, by the way, who don't want us to have a shot. And I'm hoping, you've said a few times that you want to like this band, but you've never liked our music. So hopefully on this record at some point, you'll like something that we do.
Fingers crossed, Andy.
I feel like there's a lot of growth with the latest singles that you guys have come out with. And I don't know what took so fucking long, but SiriusXM Octane is finally playing it. And it's doing
Thank you,
great.
by the way. I don't care when it happens. I'm just happy that it's happened.
It's doing amazing, and it's funny because a lot of our listeners are older, and your fan base is, you have a little bit of everything, but a lot is a younger crowd, and these people tweet at me like, wow, this Black Veil Brides band, they're awesome, and like, how new are they? I'm like, are you kidding me? They've been around for a long time, so get familiar.
Gotta be satisfying, though, to still hear people consider you that way.
I mean, that's the thing for us. Your entry point is different for everybody, right? Now we're on this tour right now, and we're seeing people that maybe they listened to us when they were really young, and now they're adults and they have disposable income, and they're coming to their first Black Veil show. Or maybe there's people who had never heard of us, but they heard us on Octane, and they're into classic metal and that kind of thing, and then they're seeing us. So at this point, it's really hard to kind of pin down what the demographic of a Black Veil fan is, and that's really exciting because you can look out and see all these different types of people.
Which is the greatest thing you could ever see, looking out into a crowd. It's not just one person, it's all walks of life.
It's crazy because when we talk about like the length of your band is like, I actually got a time hop today from 11 years ago. We were on tour.
Yeah, that's true.
11 years ago.
Does it feel like 11 years?
Yes. It was it's crazy that like, because I buried that life of mine.
Yeah.
And then it's like, coming to this new thing, but like getting that thing and like the full circle of like, hey, you were on tour with Black Veil 11 years ago. And then I was like, and then I looked at our schedule and I was like, no fucking way. I was like, how weird is this, like, full circle, random bullshit?
And I'm still wearing leather pants over a decade later.
In this summer, holy hell.
It's not fun.
By the way, it's fun because all my boys are behind you right now, so I'm just looking at them with masks on. Hi.
I love it.
But no, I mean, I think is like, you guys have always cared about the experience of Black Veil from the inception. Now, like, I've had this conversation a few festivals ago with a couple bands that I think that are very well worth it, is when you are headlining these festivals, and I say when because it's definitely going to come, what is your production looking like? What is the experience of Black Veil? No money, you get to do what you want, you're headlining this festival. What does it look like?
I mean, I think it's something that we've all dreamt of since we were a little kid, like what would you do if you had endless resources? And so I don't know that I could even describe it. However, I have often said that I want to be able to do a show that has more interactive experience to it. It's not a secret, I'm such a Kiss fan, and one of the things I love is, as a 6-year-old going to see Kiss, I saw Paul Stanley fly over my head and land on a stage in the middle of the crowd. And I think because of the type of band that we are, and because so much of our success is predicated only on an audience that propped us up, most people, for many years and including today, do not want us to be successful or don't want us to be around because they don't like us for whatever reason. Our audience has always been the one that's kept us there and has given us these opportunities. So if we could, having a way to be able to be more inclusive of the audience in the show and to do something like that, I think would be the real dream. But other than that, just blowing fucking everything up, I think, is always the intention.
Yes. Fire, fire, fire.
You said something. You said something earlier that really piqued my ear. There was a moment where you considered giving it up. Yeah. What kept you going? Because to me, it always feels like a journey. It's not about a destination with Black Veil Brides. It still feels like people are joining your fold. Hearing Katie, what she had to say about people from Octane joining your fold. What kept you going? What made that decision? Because there had to be a time. If you were hanging in the balance, what was it like making that decision to go, we're going to carry on?
It's the idea of my favorite band not existing. You know what I mean? Like we are all five of us. This is the band we always wanted to see. Growing up, we saw other bands and had different ideas, and when we came together, we were able to build the thing that we wanted to see on stage. And the idea of not having that felt really wrong, to not have this thing that was so important to all of us. And then above everything else, I started, for me personally in the band, I was a teenager when we started touring. Yeah. I grew up on the road with these guys, and so much of my life and so much of who I am is based upon this. It would be very difficult for me to see a world where this isn't part of my life or who I am. And again, I would be sad for my favorite band in the world to not be around.
Absolutely.
And so October 29th, the Phantom Planet, you've come through that.
Phantom Tomorrow.
The Phantom Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you've got...
the band The Phantom Planet will be playing The Phantom Tomorrow.
Right, The Phantom Tomorrow. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, that's all right.
No problem. You've got the record finished. October 29th, it's out. What are you most proud of? And especially as these people, I'm sure you lot have rolled with this band for years and years and years, right? What are you most proud of to bring to these dedicated fans?
A really fucking great record. Something that we had the time to make a record that we really care about. And the truth of the matter is that of all of the experiences we've had in a studio and of all the time we've had to make albums, we had the most time to really make this, and we had the best time making it, and I think people will hear that. But above everything else, it's just a great fucking rock record. So, and we already finished part 2 that'll be out next year. So.
Hell yeah. That's great news. Okay, so we just got a little something out of it.
There we go.
Also, it's no secret to anybody that you are acting now, that you've done a lot of stuff. You've got pretty much your own TV show. But I would love to see, there's a lot of bands, since they're not able to play shows, they've been getting into acting a lot. Ice Nine Kills are a perfect example. They're making all these music videos that
fantastic.
are
really cool.
little mini movies. And I kind of see something happening with Black Veil Brides in the future where Andy will be like, you know what, Black Veil Brides, we're going to come out with a movie or something. Like maybe
we did in 2013. It's called Legion of the Black. You can watch it online.
Yes.
Prior to all those other things you said, by the way.
Yeah.
You've got everything.
Not negating anybody else's art, just saying we have done that.
That's awesome.
Maybe we'll do another one.
Okay, yeah. Do you see yourself moving forward with a lot more acting? And
I do want to say, by the way, yes, and I think it's so fucking awesome that bands like Motionless or Ice Nine or these bands that are so visual are doing this incredible visual work. And, for us, similarly, we try to keep up with making sure that, for us, the visuals represent what the music is. But I think we're in this really golden age of the combination of heavy metal and hard rock music and the aesthetic and the vision kind of coming together. Yep. There used to be such a stigma on that idea, and bands were afraid of doing that.
Yeah.
And so I think there's nothing but opportunities for bands to do stuff like that, and I think moving forward we'll continue to.
Hell yeah.
One more question about new music then. If there's a part 2, do you see this like Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill 2 and Load and Reload, like kind of two halves of the same whole? Or is it a separate record in its own right? Like, how do you view a part 2 of the record?
So the first record is meant to be about kind of the idea of hero worship and how societally we have this idea that we're constantly trying to put our own hopes and ambitions onto other people.
Yeah.
Politics, you see it a lot, these kind of avatarism, I call it, where it's like, everything that is me is that guy now instead of having any own personal identity. And so the idea was to try to make a record that it's about this creation of this faulty hero that doesn't really want the job and how we ultimately tear apart those heroes in the end. And part 2 is about the other side of that coin, how we kind of fall into the better angels of our nature and fall into our base feelings. And so it's a little bit darker and heavier record in that way.
Wow. There
Darker
you go,
and heavier.
everybody.
Two great words right there.
October 29th, the new record. Andy, thanks for being here. Andy from Black Veil Brides.